Dear students, today we will study about foundry. Foundry means casting the item. Casting means melting the metal in a particular pot, crucible, then pouring into a cavity. Usually cavity is made in molding sand. Suppose you want to make a large number of similar items. This process is very easy because you can make many cavities at a time and pour the item. The process first start with making a replica of the item to be made in either plastic, wood, etc. so that usually it can be made very easily. Then that can be the impression of the item. That item is called a pattern. Is made in a molding sand. Then melt the item and pour into that cavity. After solidifying the item, you can take out and further machining can be done. For example, suppose you want to make an engine block of a car or something like that. Then it is the easiest method. You need not make a very huge item weighing about say 500 kg. But you can make, you have to use a little amount of metal only. Many portions are hollow. So that will be very easier. The piston is also made in the similar process. In that one, instead of making the mold cavity in sand, usually metal mold are made. Metal mold are made and pressure die casting is done. Pressure die casting means pouring the item and apply the pressure so that all the corners and all the shape you will get properly. Another example are you might have seen the Nilavilak. I will tell in Malayalam, Nilavilak, or say Urili, etc. are also being done by sand molding process. Sand molding can be done either in floor or in bench. That is called bench molding or floor molding. Large items are made in floor molding technique and small items are made by bench molding method. Now we will study about the tools used in a molding shop. See, this one is called a solid type pattern. One piece. This is a split type pattern. There are other type of patterns. Suppose you want to make a very large wheel. Usually a portion of a wheel will be made and it will be pressed in many places and you will get the depression. That is called segmental pattern. Segmental pattern. Like that, according to our requirement, pattern can be designed and used. Okay. Dear students, today we will discuss about how to make an item by molding process. Molding process means melting the metal and pouring into a cavity to get the desired shape. See, in order to make an item, first we require a replica of the shape, usually made from plastic, wood or any other soft material, so that we can easily make the replica of the item. Suppose I want to make an item like this one. This is something like a disc. What you have to do? make an item like this one. This is made from wood. Then keep the item in a molding sand to get a depression of this shape. Then pour the item into, melt the metal and pour the item into the cavity to get the item. In certain cases, for example, this if you are putting in the molding sand, you cannot take out the item because of its shape. You cannot take out because here it is smaller one. This is in a global shape, and when you fill the item with sand, you cannot take it the item. So what you usually do is it will be split into two pieces so that you can place the item like this one, and impression will be in the sand. In the usually two boxes will be used. I will show you after this one. In the top box, other half will be kept. That is the method by which we can use the item. This I will show you after explaining all the tools we are using in the molding shop. First tool we will be using a shovel. Shovel is used to mix the sand. You might have seen this one in a construction field. Same item we are using here for mixing the sand with water. See, we are doing the bench molding process. In bench molding process, usually a molding board is used. This is the molding board. Usually a very thin or 3 to 6 mm thick wooden plank or plywood, or you can use that one. After that, usually two boxes are used. You can see two boxes. The bottom box is called drag. The name of the box is drag. And in another box, similar box also will be used. That is called cope. So drag and cope. Even those items are similar, the name is different. See, first suppose I want to make an item like this one, a dumbbell. For that, what you have to do is first keep the dumbbell in the molding box. Then place the drag in the inverted position like this one. I will tell you why inversion is required. After that, you sprinkle the partition sand. Partition sand is nothing but ordinary silica sand of fine size, so that the sand will not stick onto the pattern. After that, you fill the sand here. Then using a rammer, this one is called rammer. Mix and before that I will tell you the molding sand consists of coal dust, sand and some binding material. Okay, that will be mixed with water to a consistency. When we hold the item, it will not fall down. See, you can see the drag and cope have handles for lifting the item, and also some locking arrangement will be given. You can see here lock. See, usually after keeping all the pattern and molding box, you have to insert a bolt or something like that, so that it will act like a single unit. See, purpose is if the molten metal will have the density more than the sand we are using. So whenever pouring the item, there is a tendency to float the sand over and this may lift. In order to avoid that one only, we are holding together.
Okay.
See, this item is called rammer. The hand rammer. This is used to compact the molding sand when we are filling in the molding box. That I will show you when we are making a mold cavity. And the sides of the item molding box as well as very near to the pattern, we have to use a pin rammer for compacting the item. You just compact the item by striking like this vertically. See, you can see this item. Both of this is almost similar, and this is a longer and diameter is also small. This is called a sprue pins. Sprue pins are used for making the I have told you that there are two types are there. This is a bigger one. That means bigger means the diameter is more, and this is diameter is less. This is used to pour the material in the mold cavity. There will be a hole. In order to make a hole, this one is used. And these are used for rising the metal, molten metal. When the mold cavity is filled, then it will be rising, and we can see whether it is filled or not. Okay. This is a small trowel used to smoothen the surface of the molding box, mold cavity, etc. We will be using a large type of trowel for mixing and taking the item from the hoop of the molding stand.
Okay.
See, after taking the pattern from the molding box, sometimes some loose particles may fall into the cavity. Then you can take the item using this lifter. This is called a lifter. Suppose a little item is here, then you can take it without damaging other side.
Okay.
See, this one is called a draw spike. Draw spike is used to take out the pattern from the molding box in order to lift the item. See, there is a threaded portion here. You have to insert here and rotate it. Then this will be catching this one and lift the item. That is the purpose of this one. See, after taking the item, you have to use this one. Sometimes a loose particle may be there. In order to remove the loose particle, sometimes this item is used. This is called a bellow. Bellow is used to blow the air. Nowadays, this type is not used. We are using a electrically operated, not bellow, a blower is used. But you should be very cautious, because all the items will be flown by the air. So you have to use very carefully, otherwise mold cavity may damage.
Okay.
See, after assembling the molding box, actually molding box will be assembled only after 2 or 3 days, because it has to be dried properly. Otherwise, when you are pouring the molten metal, there is a chance of bursting due to evolvement of large quantity of steam produced due to the heated item. So in order to avoid that one, usually a vent rod is inserted towards the pattern, so that any steam is produced, that will be escaped through the holes provided by the vent rod.
Okay.
See, this one is called a strike off bar, in order to remove the extra material over the molding box. Like this you can remove.
Okay.
See, this one is called a gate cutter. Gate cutter is used to make a gate or a pathway from runner to the mold cavity. That I can show you when we are doing the actual work. This is called a scoop. You might have seen the ice cream scoop, maybe for taking the item from the mold cavity. Some shape also can be made by this one. This this portion, a triangular portion, you can insert the item in the molding sand and make the shape you have to make. Suppose you want to make a basin shape, you can insert the item and move the item like this. Then you can take the item from this side. That is the purpose of this. The name is slick. This is a combined tool, slick and scoop. Suppose I want to make an item like this one. What we have seen earlier, the small box can be used like this. But for today I am going to show you a item with a split pattern. So this may not be enough. So I am changing the top box only. This may be enough. The procedure is like this. First you match this item together and check any problem is there. If there is no problem, you can insert a pin here or a bolting can be done. It's okay. Now it is okay item. So what you have to do, keep the top box away from here, then invert the bottom box or drag like this. This item should touch on the molding board. Now keep the half portion of the split pattern. See, you can see some locating pins are provided. This does not have any pin. You can see the 5 here, 5 here. So that should match properly. Then keep the item without any projection and without a locating pin in the molding box like this. Okay. See, you have to place the half of the pattern like this. Not at the center. You can move a little away from here because we have to keep the runner this position so that it will have at least 50 mm away from here to the mold cavity, as well as it should not be very near to the box. Okay. Now you sprinkle a small amount of parting sand over the pattern. After sprinkling the parting sand, you can put molding sand. See, molding sand is already mixed and checked the consistency. Now fill with the item. This molding sand consists of mainly silica sand, and a small amount of coal dust is also provided with some binding material like clay or bentonite, etc. Now fill the box at least half height. Now compact the item using a rammer. This is called a hand rammer. Now using a pin rammer, compact all the sides as well as near to the pattern. See, if you are not compacting properly here, when we lift the box, all the item will be falling down. So you should properly compact it. See, before filling, you should be kept in mind that the top surface will be irregular. Don't make it by smooth like this one and fill the item. Then what will happen? It will become a layer and it may come off. So always it will be rough. Now again fill the item. Now compacting is over. A little is projecting above the molding box. Now we have to remove that one. For that a strike off bar is used. This is called a strike off bar. You can move like this. Now we have to smoothen the surface. The name of the tool is trowel. Using trowel you can smoothen the surface. Now we have to take out the box from the molding board. For that it is better to move a little rotate in a direction so that the sticking will come out. Then only one side can be lifted like this. Now clean the molding board.
Start.
Now clean the molding board using any type of brush. I am using this brush. Now keep the item horizontally. Now place the cope over the drag. Exactly place the item and insert a, if required, insert a pin or a bolt here so that it will not shift the item. After that you place the other half of the dumbbell. This is a dumbbell pattern. You can see here it is 5 here and 5 here. So match the 5 exactly here. 5 means a identification where this portion should come. Now again sprinkle the parting sand, not only on the pattern but everywhere, because this molding sand will stick over the molding sand just we are going to fill. So in order to separate that one, you can sprinkle a small amount of molding parting sand. After that you keep the runner and riser. I will show. Should be placed over the crest of the pattern. Suppose if you are not keeping the item here, there is a tendency of vacuum will be created there. So vacuum will be created means the pattern will have blowholes here without any metal. So always keep the item at the topmost portion of the pattern. Here there are 2 topmost portions here. So you can keep 2 risers. In addition to that, a runner. Runner is required for pouring the material. We will be taking out this one to make holes here. So now I am filling with a molding sand again. Now ram with hand rammer. Compact the item with this rammer. This is called hand rammer. As I told earlier, you have to use the pin rammer also to compact the item near to the pattern as well as the size of the box. Now again I am filling with the molding sand. Again ram properly. Now I am filling with the molding sand. Now again ram with the hand rammer. See that it should not touch on the runner.
Start.
Now remove the excess molding sand using the strike foam bar. You can use like this. Now finish the surface with the trowel. You can dip the trowel in the water and make the surface very smooth. See, now we have to insert the vent rod towards the pattern. This is used to avoid any explosion while pouring the molten metal. Because even though we are drying the mold cavity by keeping it free for 2 or 3 days, there is a small chance of producing steam while pouring the molten metal, and within a very few seconds, so there is a chance of bursting. So we will be making many number of vent holes here, so that any steam is coming out, that will escape through the holes provided here. After this one, we have to remove all this one. Before removing, what we have to do, we have to give an impression in the runner. Runner, you see, this is a smaller one. These two are larger size. Larger means the size is more, diameter is more. So just give a strike here, so that you will get an impression in the bottom box. After that, you can remove the item by rotating it and taking it. These two are risers. After filling, we are pouring through this one, and item will be coming through this one. We have to take out the pattern before that one. So now we have made this one. Now we have to make a pouring basin here. See, you will be using a funnel for filling the kerosene, etc., isn't it? Similarly, we have to make a large shape here, a conical shape. For that, we will be using a slick. We can use a slick and a scoop. I am using scoop only now. Now using any other cylindrical item, you can finish the item. Again, you can insert the riser once more, so that the surface will be smooth. Now we can take out the item, stop the using the slick, you can make a pouring basin. A small cavity, so that any loose particles of sand will be filtered here. You can use any smooth surface to make the pouring basin. Now using a gate cutter, you can cut the gate. Before that you clean all the surface again. Then move the gate cutter to the from runner to the mold cavity. You can smooth the item by moving like this. Usually a small bump will be provided here so that any loose particle will be stuck here and clean metal will be coming here. Using the trowel, you will again finish the item properly. Now take out the second half of the pattern by using the draw spike. See, insert the draw spike in the hole. You can give a small strike with any hammer or something like that. Now you can take out. There is no problem for the mold cavity. Now assemble the box together. Keep the item for 2 or 3 days in the vertical manner so that this will be dried properly. If you are keeping like this, only top surface will be dried, bottom will not be dried. So usually it will be kept like this one, and it will be kept for 3 or 4 days so that drying will be proper. After that, suppose it is now 3 days are over. Now again keep the item in the proper manner. Now again you can use a blower. If any loose particles are laying here, you can use a blower to remove all the loose particles, then assemble the molding box together. After that you have to bolt together here. See, you can insert a bolt through here and tighten both sides. Here there is a funnel shape so that you can easily pour the molten metal. I will show the container in which item is being melted.
Start.
See, after melting the item will be collected in the crucible. Either there are two methods, melt in another pot and pour into the crucible, or you can keep this one itself in the fire and melt the item. Then pour the metal like this one. Usually 2 persons will be doing the work. After pouring this one, this item also will be filled with metal, and the purpose of this one is not only to see the item is filled, but it will act as a reservoir for molten metal. When when the molten metal is solidifying, the volume will be reducing due to contraction. So more metal will be taken from this riser to fill the cavity fully. See, keep the item for 2 or 3 hours to solidify properly. After that, you take out the item, and the item will be have something like this one. Like this one, and gate also will be there, and the runner also will be like this one. All these items will be broken. By just striking with a hammer, this will break. And this one usually cut by a hacksaw or something like that. So that is, there should not be any irregularities